What's goody YouTube? This your boy Remo, and I'm back with another video. Yes, sirree. Yes, I am chilling. I'm at work doing security. This is my last 10-hour shift. It is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm about to get off in about another hour. I'm gonna go home and order me some chicken. I'm gonna show y'all the best chicken in upstate New York. I'm gonna show y'all the chicken I order. I'm gonna post a video of it later. Y'all probably be watching the Super Bowl when I post this video. I might post both later after the Super Bowl. So if you watching this video, you watching it after the Super Bowl. And be sure to check out that fried chicken video I'm gonna do. But let's get into it. I'm about to talk about the wild summer of 2003 that I had. Boy, was it wild. This is part one. You know, it was five freaks that I was dealing with over the summer of 2003. Unforgettable. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the first three. But the main character in this video is this chick that I had that looked just like Eve. You know, Eve the rapper from Rough Ryders. And I'm gonna get into how we met and all the things we did. And I'm gonna give y'all an update on her too. I always try to give updates of these chicks that I banged in the past. You know, because I'm still friends with many of them. And I know if I wanted to, I could still bang all of them. Every last one of them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, summer 2003. I remember June 2003. Me and my ex-girlfriend. She looked like Queen Latifah. And we just gonna call her Queen Latifah. Me and her was living together for a year, but we broke up in June 2003. Why? Because we was always arguing. You know, I was drinking heavy back then. She was drinking. You know what I mean? It just, we was both young and dumb. I was 23. She was a little bit older than me. And, you know, we just didn't see eye to eye. You know, when we moved in together, that's when we realized we wasn't made for each other. It wasn't going to work. You know what I mean? But we had a year lease to abide by, which we ended up breaking up 1 month before that lease ended. And what happened was we was always arguing and fist fighting, getting drunk, yelling at each other, slamming doors at each other, throwing shit at each other. But this one particular night, I put my hands on her in front of the police. Police gaffled me up, threw me in jail. Boy, I was in jail for 2 weeks. I was crying like a motherfucker, man. I was like, oh, I can't. I'm on the phone, my mama crying. You know, man, I was begging and pleading with my grandmother, and then one of my dumbass female cousins told everybody she knew. You know what I mean? Boy, she was spreading rumors, and she embellished it and made it out to what she wanted to be. You know, she was putting extras on while I was in jail, just making me look bad. She made me look bad to this one chick I had a crush on. You know what I mean? She was telling everybody in her church. I was like, oh gosh. I'm like, oh man. You know, but I didn't find all this out until I got out of jail. But I was in jail for a couple of weeks, and I was saying to myself, I can't wait to get up out of here, man, because, you know, I like to be able to get up and go to my refrigerator and get a cold drink at night. You know what I'm saying? I like to look out the window. Ain't no windows in jail, y'all. And you ain't getting no cold drink. You know, and if you do, it's going to be water out of the bathroom faucet. You know, I can't deal with that shit, man. But luckily, the judge had mercy on me. You know, he didn't give me no record or nothing. He said, if I see you back in here again, he was like, I'm going to lock you up. He was like, and you're going to have a mark on your record. I said, you won't see me in here no more, Judge. He was like, I better not. So after about 2 weeks, I got out. My mother came and got me. Boy, I got on my knees and kissed the ground. I was downtown. People was looking at me like, what the hell is he doing? Ain't nothing like the taste of sweet freedom. And I got out June 21st, 2003. It was the first day of summer. And, you know, while I was in jail, my ex-girl moved and left all my shit in the apartment. So my brother and my cousin, they grabbed whatever they could grab. You know what I mean? And my cousin Boogie, I call him the Boogeyman. You're gonna hear a lot about him throughout this video. You know, they grabbed whatever they could. You know, I didn't have a car at this time, so you know, my cousin had a van, so they grabbed most of my clothes. You know, I was DJing all the time. I was DJing back then all the time, and so they grabbed most of my musical equipment and stuff. And the judge told me not to go around Queen Latifah because, you know, she told the judge I did this, I beat her up and all this stuff, which I did. I smacked the shit out of her, but she made it seem like I tried to kill her or something like that. So the judge was like, don't go around her for 90 days. So it was June 21st. I couldn't be around her for 90 days until the first day of fall. I remember I received a letter, the order of protection, the first day of summer, and it said you can't be around her until the first day of fall. I said, okay, fine, because I don't want to, I was done with her anyway. You know, she was cute. She looked like Queen Latifah. You know, she had some nice thighs. She didn't really have a plump booty or nothing. She didn't really have a nice shape like how I like them, but she had some nice sized breasts, you know, and she was cute. She gave the best head. I mean, she used to give me head first thing in the morning. I'll be sleeping, I'll wake up, and she'll be giving me head. Ain't nothing like a nice nut in the morning. Ain't nothing like waking up with your dick down a bitch's throat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wake up and look down, oh man. Like I'll wake up and I'll be dreaming, I'm laying on clouds and I look down, she'll be giving me head. She was my alarm clock. Just imagine waking up. Just imagine not having no alarm clock, just waking up every morning before you go to work to some head. And that's the reason why I stayed with her. Cause she used to do stuff like that all the time. She used to lick a nigga balls and everything. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I couldn't be around her for 90 days, so I said, fuck it. I went back to go stay with my mama and my stepfather. I thought my stepfather was going to be pissed, but actually he was kind of glad because he knew I was going to help out with the bills and shit. So I had lost my job. I was working at a law firm. I was a mail carrier. I lost my job, but I was doing landscaping for one of the lawyers I used to work with. He had a landscaping business and he was paying me under the table pretty good money. And I did that for a couple of weeks, stacked up some bread. Then I had I worked at the recycling company temporarily with my cousin Boog. You know, I did that for about a couple of weeks, and I was like, man, this ain't for me. You know, so I said no. So I stuck with the landscaping, and then I found out that I was eligible for unemployment. So I was getting unemployment and doing the landscaping. Man, I was stacking up bread left and right. I said, I'm about to save up and get me a car. So that's what I ended up doing. But I didn't get the car until maybe like a year later because, you know, I was taking trips to Canada, New York City. You know, I was giving my mom bread, and plus I was tricking too. So I was getting unemployment, giving my mom, you know, her little $100 a week. You know, $100 was a lot back then. This is 2003. So chilling with my cousin Boog, and we used to go to this spot to get some Philly cheesesteaks. They had the best Philly cheesesteaks in town. And you can get a large for like $3. Man, you can get a large sub and a 40 ounce for like $5. Because the 40 ounces back then was like $2, $2.25, something like that. You know what I'm saying? All I know is you can get a beer and a 40 ounce and a sub for $5. So we used to frequent this sub spot a lot. So one day, I went in there, it was a hot sunny day. And I went in there, and we waiting for our subs to get done. You know, it was an Arab store. They was cool. They used to let us drink beer right in the store while we was waiting for our food to get done. So I see these two chicks walk in. One of them looked just like Eve, and another one looked just like the porn star DeButt. Now DeButt, D-A-B-U-T-T, she go by DeButt XXX. She got the biggest booty in porn. Now, this chick looked just like DeButt. Now, I got my eye on her because I love big booty short chicks. You know what I mean? But the chick that looked like Eve was cute too. She had some nice lips and she had some nice legs on her too. Like she worked out or something. She had legs like Tina Turner. But she had a face like Eve. And she had short hair like Eve too. they come in the store, and I'm just looking at the girl that looked like the butt. I'm looking at her like that, and she had hazel eyes. I'm like, she got to be from the West Coast or something like that. She had glowing skin too, you know. So my cousin was looking at both of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was looking at both of them too, but he was like, God damn, look at that, all loud so they can hear. I'm like, damn, man, calm down, man. So I'm like, damn, man, I hate when people brag about chicks right in front of them, loud enough so they can hear them, man. I'm like, yo, man, just chill, man, because sometimes that turn chicks off. So the one chick that looked like Eve, she asked the Arab dude if she could use the bathroom. She was doing the pee dance. She was like, I gotta pee. He was like, oh, our bathroom is out of order. And so my cousin was trying to tell her where to go to the bathroom. He telling her to go like a mile to the left, a mile to the right, and shit like that. She had to pee right then and there. So I went outside, man, you know, because you know, I didn't like how he was like, you know, talking, you know, whispering and he was loud whispering how fine they was and shit. And they could hear, they looking at me. And so I went outside. They looking at both of us. I went outside. And so the chick that looked like Eve came outside and she was like, come with me to the back of this store. I was like, for what? She was like, I gotta pee. She was like, just be my shield. I was like, okay, all right. So I went back there. She squatted behind. She had on like a cheerleading type of dress, like a short cheerleader type of dress or something, like it was blue. And so she squatted, she had to pee, and you know, I had my back turned towards her, like, you know, so she wouldn't feel uncomfortable. But she had to piss bad because she didn't know me. I was a stranger. She just wanted me to watch out for her. So when I was young, I thought it was funny, but now that I'm older, I realize she had to go. If you gotta go, you gotta go. So, you know. And so, like, me and her was walking back to the front of the store talking and shit like that. She asked me my name. I told her. She told me her name. I was like, damn, you look just like Eve, the rapper. She said, yeah, people tell me that all the time. And she was like, where y'all from? I said, we from this side of town. I said, where y'all from? She was like, we from this side of town, too. So they went and got what they had to get. And as they was leaving, their car wouldn't start. So my cousin gave them a jump. And the whole time I'm looking at the chick that looked like the butt. That's who I wanted. But Eve was looking at me. She was feeling me. I could tell. You know, I know that eye. When a chick be looking at you, and like when you look back at her, she don't look away. That means she feeling you. So, you know, I had gave her my number. My cousin gave them a jump. They had a little Nissan Max. He gave them a jump. I gave her my number, not thinking she was going to ever call me. About 2 days later, she called me. And it sounded like she was partying. And I was like, what street you stay on? She told me the name of the street. I'm like, damn, that's like 3 blocks down from my mom's house. I was like, shit, I was like, yo, I'm right around the corner from you. So she was like, yeah, you and your cousin gave us a jump. Why don't y'all come over to the party and all this shit? I was like, all right. I think it was like a 4th of July party or some shit like that they was having. So we went over there, we chilled, and first night I was there. I'm the type of guy, if I'm coming over to somebody's house, for a party or something, even if I'm coming over to visit, I always bring something, If I know you drink, I'll bring you a beer. If you smoke cigarettes, I'll bring you a pack of cigarettes. So when I went over there, I had brought like a 6-pack of beer, some cigarettes, and some weed or whatever. Because, I was doing landscaping and getting unemployment. I was rolling pretty good. I was rolling thick. So, we went over there, chilled. Now, she had a sister that was darker than her. She looked like Monique the comedian. Now, Monique the comedian was feeling my cousin Boogie. So, the chick that looked like the butt, come to find out they were stepsisters. That's what they were. They were stepsisters. And when I got over there, I was hoping to see the butt. She was there. She was chilling. Me and her was cracking joke. But she kind of was like giving me the cold shoulder. I had felt like she thought she was the shit and she thought she was better than everybody else. Because, truth be told, she was the best looking out of all the women that was there. And she was the thickest and she knew it. I mean, she broke necks every time she walked by. Literally broke necks. She almost gave me whiplash. So, you know, we all chilling. The chick that looked like the butt, she leaves. She goes home. You know, so we all chilling and shit. You know, I'm getting my groove on. The number one song of that summer was Crawl Ski Ski Motherfucker. Crawl Ski Ski Goddamn crawl. Yeah, remember that song? Get low to the window, to the wall, to the sweat drop down my balls. Crawl, these females crawl. Crawl, ski, ski, motherfucker. Crawl, ski, ski, goddamn. That song played over and over at that party, man. For that whole summer, that song was in the background. And believe me, I got a lot of coochie with that song playing in the background. That was the number one song of the summer of 2003. So, end of the night, we all drunk. You know, she all, because I didn't smoke weed. You know, I sold weed. I always had weed on me because everybody else smoked it around me. You know, most females smoke anyway. So, you want to see a female, at least have a bag of weed on you. You know what I'm saying? You know, to keep them mellowed out and shit. You know, get them a little freaky or whatever. So, you know, at the end of the night, shit, I was smashing in my cousin's van. You know, we was sitting in the van talking, man. She gave me some, at the time, she had gave me some of the best head ever because she used to suck her thumb and like the roof of her mouth was like slightly uneven. Like it was like, you know, it was slightly uneven. And it made her get a best head. That's the best way I could describe it to you. She gave me some good head, boy. I mean, good head. And she was staying with her sister. Her sister had like a 2-bedroom house, you know, with a living room, dining room, and bathroom, and the basement. I fucked her in every room except for her sister's bedroom. Shit, I fucked her in her niece's and nephew room. I fucked her in the living room plenty of times, in the dining room. I done fucked her on the front porch. I fucked her in the basement many a times. I fucked her in the kitchen while she was chopping up carrots and shit. And but the first time I was fucking her in my cousin's van parked in the driveway. And the second night we went over there, same thing. We partied a little bit, you know. At the end of the night, my cousin went upstairs with her sister that looked like Monique, and I was in the dining room on the floor fucking her. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I fucked her in every hole she had. Oh yeah, hell yeah. And she did not mind giving head, boy. I mean, she would as soon as she came over my mom's house a few times, and as soon as she would come in my room, she would just pull my joint out and start sucking. That's the shit she used to do, man. She was just as freaky as I am. She was the nympho, and I was the satyro. You know, a satyro is a male nympho. So we was both some freaky deakies. Shit. She asked me, she was like, so what are we? And I was like, what you mean? She was like, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? I said, I just want to be what you want me to be. Get me hot and see what you want me to be. I was like, Cameo, I'll be your freaky deep. What you want me to be. Get me hot and see what you want me to be. Hell yeah, I turned into Larry Blackman. I just want to be. But anyway, yeah, man, this shit went on for weeks. I mean, I fucked her several times a day. Like 2-3 times a day. Like she'll be doing something. Like, cause her sister worked. Her sister worked most of the time. And she used to be there watching her nieces and nephews, but shit, her nieces and nephews, they was always outside. Back then, kids stayed their asses outside. Now they be on the computer, playing video games and shit. But these kids, they kept their asses outside, man. So, shit, she'll be in the kitchen cooking or doing dishes. Shit, I'll just walk up behind her and then just start fucking her. She used to love giving me quickies. You know? So, you know, that shit went on for weeks. And come to find out, this chick was a little crazy. Her kids was in foster care because all she did was get high, smoke cigarettes, and drink. I found out later that she was smoking crack. But she didn't look like it, and she didn't act like it when I was with her. I thought she just was a heavy drinker, alcoholic, which she was, but I didn't know she smoked crack. So, yeah, she had just got out of jail her damn self. She was doing community service at the VOA, the Volunteers of America. So she had told me, she was like, on Monday, after I had been fucking her for like a whole week straight, she was like, yeah, this Monday I gotta go start my community service. And I was like, for real? She was like, yeah, I got to do that shit for like two months. She had to put like, I forgot how many hours she had to do, but it was like 2 months. I said, damn, that's your whole summer. She was like, yeah, I would have been better off doing the time in jail. I was like, yeah, shit. And so, excuse me, that Monday, she went to go do her little community service and shit. And she called me. She was like, why don't you come up here? She was like, I got something for you. I was like, okay. So I rode my mother's bike up there. My mother had an expensive Schwinn bike. I rode her bike up there, and this bitch had a bag of stolen clothes from me. Stolen used clothes from the VOA. And they were some pretty nice clothes. I was like, yo, I hope you don't get in trouble. She was like, nah, because she was like assorting clothes and, you know, washing them and folding them up and shit, hanging them up and shit like that. And you know, she would put the ones she thought looked good on me in a bag, and I would come up there and get them. You know, I did that a couple times. And so while I'm doing this, you know, I'm at home one day looking through the clothes that she gave me, and I get a phone call. And it was my ex-girl, Queen Latifah. I picked up the phone. I said, hello. She was like, who the fuck you fucking? I was like, why the fuck you worried about what I'm doing with my life, bitch? Who the fuck is you to call me and ask me who the fuck? I said, ain't none of your fucking business. I said, who the fuck you fucking? She was like, I ain't fucking nobody. She was like, why you ain't called me since you got home? I was like, the judge gave me an order of protection. I was like, you violating it. She was like, don't nobody follow no order of protection and shit like that. She was like, you better not let me catch you fucking somebody, because I'll have your ass back in jail or in the morgue or either one. I was like, come on, man. I was like, man, that ship done sailed. I said, man, it's time for us to go our own separate ways. She was like, I ain't going nowhere until you give me some more of that dick. I was like, huh? She was like, you heard what I said. I said, where you live at? She was like, oh, I'm living with my sister on such and such street. I was like, oh, okay. Her sister had a nice house on such and such street. So, now Queen Latifah worked second shift. So she wanted me to come over before noon, you know, and bang it out. So that's what I was doing. Now, the chick that looked like Eve, she used to get off community service at about like 3 o'clock. So what I would do, I would go bang Queen Latifah. She used to love it when I came on her face. Like she thought my cum was like Noxzema. Like I would pull it out and cum in her face, and she would literally rub it in her face. She had pretty good skin too. I think it was from my sperm, nigga. Super sperm. But anyway, shit, I was fucking them both. Shit, I'll fuck her, go home, take a shower, take a little cat nap, and then go over Eve's house, you know, chill with her, fuck her all night long, get up, wash, rinse, and repeat. Do the same thing. I did that shit for about a week until one day I went over and fucked the shit out of Queen Latifah, took a shower over her house, and I left her house and I went to go see Eve. Eve's sister answered the door, the one that looked like Monique, and told me that Eve was in jail. I said, what the fuck she in jail for? She was like, oh, you ain't heard? She got caught stealing at the VOA. She got caught with a bag full of men's clothes. I was like, oh, shit. She was like, you lucky you didn't go up there today. She was like, she was trying to call your house, but you wasn't home. I was over there fucking Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah kind of saved me from going to jail again. So I was like, oh, shit. I was like, damn. How long she gonna be in there? And then she was like, she might be in there for about a month or so because, you know, she violated her community service. I was like, oh, shit. Well, I said, okay. I said, I'll come back in about another month or so. And as I was leaving, her sister, the butt, had pulled up. She pulled up and she was like, yeah, you heard your girl in jail. I was like, yeah. I was like, she is. And so I was like, yeah, I heard about it. I was like, damn, that's messed up. She was like, that's what she get. She was like, and she was like, last night she was up here bragging about how she got you buying her weed and cigarettes every time you come over here, and alcohol. And she was like, that's all she using you for, but your ass don't get it. I said, no, I'm a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, she ain't asked me for nothing. I did that willingly. I was like, but if she going around telling people she got me punked and all this shit, I said, I guess I better not do nothing for her. I was like, yo, thanks for telling me that. I was like, because you know, I don't deal with ungrateful people. I hate when you do stuff out of the kindness of your heart and a motherfucker turn around and say they got you pumped. Oh yeah, I got this dude buying me this, buying me that. But they don't tell everybody that you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. That's when you know you're dealing with a low life hood rat who don't appreciate shit. Always want to bite the hand that feed them. You know what I'm saying? Can't stand. They think if somebody doing something nice for them, they got them pumped. They don't understand courtesy. They can't distinguish courtesy and generosity. They don't know what that means. They ain't used to that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not used to people being courteous and being generous to them. You know what I'm saying? They used to getting over on people. So when somebody doing nice for them, they'll go around and tell their friends, oh yeah, I got this motherfucker doing this for me. Yeah, he my slave. Yeah, he do this and that. Yeah, he this and he this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. You know how females talk, man. You know, I'm getting mad just thinking about this shit. But anyway, she went to jail, and I was like, well, shit. I was like, I guess I'll be on the prowl looking for somebody else. So I didn't think nothing of it. A couple nights later, I get a phone call from Queen Latifah, and I told her to stop calling my house because my mother didn't like her. And so she was like, well, my phone cut off anyway. I'm on the payphone. And I was like, don't call here no more. I was like, because, my mother don't like you. And if she find out, she gonna call the police on you and say you violating the order of protection. So Queen Latifah didn't call me for 3 months. She didn't call me until she called me the day that the order of protection was lifted. And I basically told her to fuck off. But back to Eve going to jail. Now, one day out of the blue, like the third day she was in jail, I had got a letter from her. You know, she wrote me a letter. You know, it was a heartfelt letter. You know, you could tell she was crying because she didn't know how long she was gonna be in there, and she missed her kids and this, that, and the third. She fucked up in life. She was like she was gonna quit drinking and this, that, and the third, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, whatever. So I wrote her back, and I was like, yeah. I said it's best that we just go on our own separate ways. And I said I'll see you when you get out. I said but you know, in the letter I was like, you know, I heard that you was using me and shit like that from multiple people and stuff like that. So I mailed the letter. A couple days later, she called. By this time, her sister Monique had came over to my mom's house and gave me her number, Monique's house number. So I was calling her sister, you know, to get updates about Eve. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, she would tell me, you know, yeah, she told me to tell you this, that, and the third, and you know, she still love you. And I'm like, love me? Shit, we wasn't even together. You know, all we did was fuck. Shit. I guess she missed that soul pole. That's what it was, y'all. So I was like, I'm basically just gonna move on with my life because, you know, by this time I heard she was smoking crack and she had to go to rehab when she got out and all this shit. I was like, man, fuck this bitch. So I'm sitting at home one night and we had a blackout. The blackout of 2003. I believe it was August 2003. Y'all look this up. The whole Northeast part of the United States had a blackout, especially in New York, man. We had a blackout, man. I was like Scarface, sitting alone in my four-corner room looking at candles and shit. So out of the blue, I hear a car pull up in the driveway, and I looked out the window, and it looked like the chick that looked like the butt car. I was like, nah, this might be somebody from my mom. So my sister answered the door. She came and she was like, somebody want to see you. I was like, I'm thinking Eve got out of jail early. And so it was the butt. She was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I just came over here to see if you heard from Monique or from Eve. I was like, yeah, I heard from Monique. I was like, Eve wrote me a letter and shit. She was like, yeah, she gonna have to go to rehab and all this stuff. And I was like, how you know where I live? She was like, well, I dropped her off here one day and you wasn't home. And she was like, I don't live that far from you. I was like, damn, we all lived in the same vicinity. She was like, yeah. She was like, I'll never forget this. She was like, stop by whenever you get a chance. And she was like, you know, whenever you get free time, she was like, come by. She was like, I got something for you. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, okay. She was like, my house is quieter and cleaner than they house. She was like, and I don't just let anybody over my house. She was like, I'm particular. She was like, I don't like hanging over their house anyway. She was like, it'd be too many people, too many kids, too much traffic coming in and out. I was like, okay. All right. So yeah, she was like, yeah, come over whenever you get a chance. She was like, come over such and such date. I was like, okay. And I was like, you got my number, right? By this time, I had just got my own phone line in my room. So I gave her my phone number. And that night she called. And we talked for a long, long time. But I'm going to have to tell y'all what we talked about and what happened on the next video of the wild summer 2003 about me and the chick that looked like the butt. Y'all ain't going to believe what happened. But the chick Eve, she ended up getting out like 3 weeks later. She got out of jail 3 weeks later. And I went over there to see how she was doing. And when I got over there, she was drunk. She was drunk already. I was like, oh man. And then she jumped, she gave me a hug. She was like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. She was like, I was gonna come to your mama's house, but they gave me a welcome home party. I was like, a welcome home party? I was like, you only been locked up for like 3 weeks. She was like, yeah, but you know how it is to be locked up. She was like, didn't you say you was happy to come out? I was like, yeah. She was like, I ain't going back there no more. She was like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I said, I thought you said in the letter you was gonna quit drinking. She was like, well, I'm celebrating now. She was like, come on upstairs. So I went upstairs with her, banged it out for, I banged her for like an hour and a half, every position. She fell asleep. I was still banging her. You know what I mean? That was the long,